Have you ever felt it? That strange silence that follows even your happiest moments. When the laughter fades, the lights go out, and suddenly, everything feels meaningless. It's not sadness. It's not pain. It's something deeper. A quiet emptiness that sits inside your chest, asking questions you don't want to answer. You try to ignore it. You keep yourself busy, chasing success, love, approval, distraction. Anything to avoid the silence. But no matter how far you run, the emptiness always finds you again. You tell yourself, maybe I just need more. More money. More attention. More excitement. But every time you get what you thought would fix it, you still feel hollow inside. And so you wonder, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? But what if nothing's wrong with you? What if the emptiness isn't a flaw, but a message? A message from the part of you that's been forgotten. A whisper from the soul you've been too busy to listen to. Because sometimes, the emptiness isn't there to hurt you. It's there to wake you up. The void you feel inside is not your enemy. It's the doorway to everything real. The man who had everything. His name was Leonardo, and from the outside, he looked complete. He had what most people spend their entire lives chasing. A good job, a beautiful home, friends who admired him, and a smile carefully crafted to convince the world he was happy. But when the noise faded, when the laughter disappeared and the lights went out, Leonardo was left alone with something he couldn't explain. It wasn't sadness. It wasn't fear. It was emptiness. A hollow ache that lived somewhere between his heart and his soul. Every night, he tried to fill it. He bought new things, traveled to new places, fell in love, fell out of love, searched for new passions, new faces, new thrills. And for a while, it worked. The emptiness stayed quiet, hidden under the weight of distraction. But when the noise of life faded again, it came back, colder, louder, closer. He couldn't understand why. He had everything people said he needed to be happy. Yet, when he was honest with himself, he felt nothing at all. One night, exhausted from pretending, Leonardo sat on the floor of his bedroom. No music, no screens, no mask, just silence and the echo of his own breath. And then, for the first time, he asked the question he had avoided his whole life. Why do I have everything I wanted, and still feel like something is missing? The room was still. No voice answered, only the soft hum of the night. And in that quiet, something inside him shifted. It wasn't a voice, but a realization. The emptiness didn't come from what he lacked outside. It came from what he had lost inside. He had spent so long chasing the life he thought he should live, that he had forgotten to live the one his soul was asking for. And in that moment of silence, Leonardo finally understood. The void he feared so much wasn't there to destroy him. It was there to lead him back to himself. The emptiness isn't a curse. It's a mirror, showing you what you've become too afraid to see. The emptiness as an inner calling. Most people believe the emptiness means something is wrong. They think it's a sign of weakness, depression, or failure. But the truth is far more mysterious. The emptiness is not the end of you. It's the beginning of something calling from within. It's the soul's way of whispering, you've been living too far from yourself. You see, the emptiness only appears when your life is full of things, but empty of meaning. When your calendar is crowded, but your heart feels distant. When you follow the script the world gave you, but ignore the one your spirit was born to write. That's why so many people fear silence. Because in silence, the truth starts to speak. And the truth is often uncomfortable. It reminds you of everything you've buried under routine, under noise, under performance. But the emptiness is not there to punish you. It's an invitation, a gentle, painful reminder that you've been drifting away from what makes you alive. It doesn't want you to escape, it wants you to wake up. The emptiness is not your enemy. It's your guide disguised as darkness. Think about it. Every time you felt that void, something deep inside was trying to tell you, this is not where you belong. Maybe you've been living someone else's dream. Maybe you've been chasing validation instead of truth. Or maybe you've simply forgotten how to listen to your own voice. The world teaches you to move faster, to achieve, to collect, to win. But the soul speaks slowly. It needs stillness. It needs silence. That's why the emptiness comes when everything seems fine. Because it's not satisfied with the surface. It wants the real you. The raw, unfiltered, honest version you've been hiding. And until you answer its call, it will keep returning. Not to destroy your life, but to realign it. Because the emptiness doesn't mean you have nothing. It means you are ready for something real. The void is not a hole to be filled. It's a doorway waiting to be opened. The mistake of searching outside what's missing inside. The world taught you to search out there, to chase what shines, to collect pieces of happiness like trophies, thinking one day they'll finally make you feel whole. And for a while, it works. You achieve, you buy, you taste, you post. The applause feels good. The attention feels like meaning. But deep down, you know it's temporary. Because every time the excitement fades, the emptiness returns, quieter, deeper, more patient. You start to wonder if something's wrong with you. But there's nothing wrong. You're just feeding the wrong part of yourself. You see, what you're trying to fill is not your soul. It's your ego. And the ego is a bottomless pit. It always wants more love, more validation, more control. It feeds on comparison and dies in silence. And as long as you keep feeding it, you'll keep feeling empty. That's the cruel paradox. The more you seek happiness outside, the further you move from the source within. People drown themselves in noise, scrolling endlessly, chasing trends, seeking approval, all to escape the mirror of their own existence. But silence doesn't lie. When everything external fades, you're forced to face the only truth that ever mattered. Who am I when nothing around me defines me? That's the question the emptiness wants you to ask. Because real fulfillment doesn't come from what you have, but from what you are when you're alone with your truth. You can own the world and still be starving for yourself. The irony of life is that we build walls of comfort to protect ourselves from pain. Yet those same walls keep us trapped from feeling alive. So we hide behind routines, achievements, masks, while the soul waits, quietly, in the background. And every time you ignore that quiet voice inside, the emptiness grows louder, until you finally stop running and begin to listen. Because the emptiness isn't asking you to fix it. It's asking you to feel it. To stop searching for yourself in places you'll never belong. To realize that nothing you add to your life can replace what's missing within you. The emptiness is not a void to escape. It's a mirror showing you the parts of you still waiting to be seen. The illusion of the perfect life. We live in an age where everything looks perfect. Flawless smiles, dream vacations, success stories written in pixels. A world where everyone seems fulfilled. And yet, everyone secretly feels the same silent void. It's the great illusion of our time. The illusion of the perfect life. You scroll through endless images of people who appear to have everything. They look confident, beautiful, untouchable. And a small voice inside you whispers, "Why can't I feel like that?" But the truth is, they don't feel like that either. They've just learned how to hide their emptiness better. Because the modern world doesn't allow space for silence, for sadness, for being real. It teaches you to perform happiness, not to live it. To post your best moments while hiding your darkest nights. But every mask you wear makes the void deeper. Every lie you tell yourself builds another wall between who you are and who you pretend to be. And soon, you forget which one is real. The greatest tragedy is not being unseen by others, but being invisible to yourself. The illusion of perfection is comforting. It gives you a script to follow. Work hard, look good, stay busy, keep smiling. But it's also a trap, because perfection has no soul. You cannot feel alive while trying to be flawless. You cannot find truth while living to be admired. And yet, this illusion is everywhere. You see it in influencers, in celebrities, in the people around you who swear they're happy. But behind every perfect image lies the same unspoken emptiness, the same quiet question echoing through the night. Who am I when no one is watching? That's why so many people fear stillness. Because when the noise stops, the illusion breaks. And what remains is the truth. That happiness was never in the image, never in the approval, never in the perfection. It was always in the silence. Because the silence is where you meet yourself. It's where you begin to remember what's real. The emptiness you feel is not the absence of life. It's the absence of presence. The moment you stop trying to look complete and allow yourself to be incomplete, something miraculous happens. The emptiness begins to breathe. And for the first time, you start to feel human again. Turning emptiness into strength. You've spent years trying to escape the emptiness. You feared it, fought it, denied it. But what if it was never meant to be escaped? Only understood? Because the truth is, the emptiness isn't here to destroy you. It's here to transform you. It's the quiet before awakening, the darkness before the dawn. It's the space where your old self dissolves, so that something truer can finally emerge. Most people never make it that far. They keep running, keep numbing, chasing the next distraction until they forget that the pain was trying to guide them home. But when you finally stop, when you stop running from the silence and dare to listen, the emptiness begins to speak a different language. It says, "You are not lost. You are becoming." And that changes everything. Because once you face the void, you realize it's not a hole to fall into. It's a space to grow within. The emptiness becomes a teacher. It teaches you what truly matters. It strips away what's fake, what's borrowed, what's not you, until all that remains is truth. You begin to see that what you called emptiness was actually space. Space for something new. Space for meaning. Space for your soul to breathe again. The void you feared was never death. It was rebirth. From that moment, everything changes. You no longer chase happiness. You cultivate peace. You no longer fear silence. You welcome it. You no longer try to be someone. You remember who you are. The same emptiness that once broke you now becomes your foundation, your strength, your clarity. Because you've discovered what most never do. That the path to wholeness begins where everything falls apart. And once you pass through the emptiness, you see the truth so clearly. You were never missing anything. You were only missing yourself. The emptiness is not the end of your story. It's the chapter where you finally begin to live. Conclusion: the hidden reason behind the emptiness you feel. You've spent your whole life trying to fill the silence. With noise. With people. With dreams that were never truly yours. But now, here you are, face to face with the emptiness you tried to escape. And maybe, that's exactly where you were meant to be. Because the emptiness is not your enemy. It's your mirror. It reflects every part of you that you've abandoned while trying to be someone else. It whispers, "Stop running." It invites you to return, not to the world, but to yourself. The truth is, the emptiness you feel is not a void. It's space. A sacred space waiting to be filled, not with things, but with meaning. Not with pleasure, but with presence. Not with perfection, but with truth. You've been searching for light outside, when all this time, the fire was hidden within you. Quiet, patient, waiting for you to notice. So when the silence comes again, don't fight it. Don't drown it in distractions. Sit with it. Listen to it. Because in that silence, your real voice begins to speak. And maybe, just maybe, the reason you've always felt empty is because you were never meant to be full of the world, but full of yourself, full of awareness, full of truth, full of life, in its rawest, most authentic form. The emptiness is not the end. It's the beginning of who you were always meant to become. Sometimes, you must lose yourself completely to finally meet who you truly are.